And now to that deadly helicopter crash in Alaska. 3 soldiers are dead and 1 hurt after 2 Army helicopters crashed midair last night over Alaska. The 2 Apache gunships went down while coming back from a training flight. The Army is investigating, but this is the latest in a string of deadly helicopter crashes. The last one in Kentucky, where 9 soldiers were killed. NBC's Pentagon correspondent Courtney Cubie joins me now. Courtney, it sounds like this happened as they were coming back in. Do we know what went wrong?
That's right. We don't. And what we do know is that it occurred during daytime. There are no reports of any adverse weather or limitations in their visibility. So the Army is now looking at what could have happened that caused these 2 helicopters to crash midair like this. And not only was there the crash that you mentioned last month that killed the 9 U.S. soldiers, there was also one even before that in February that killed 2 Tennessee National Guardsmen. Again, and that was also a Black Hawk helicopter. Now, what we're learning late this evening, Gotti, is that because of the string of crashes, tonight, the Chief of Staff of the Army has ordered an aviation stand down. What that means is that no U.S. Army helicopters can fly anywhere in the world temporarily until all U.S. Army pilots receive some new training. Now, what this indicates is that it doesn't seem to be a concern about the platforms or the types of helicopters. As I said, we had the Black Hawk helicopters in the 2 recent crashes, but yesterday's were Apaches. It doesn't seem to be the platform. It seems that the Army is looking to ensure that the training is sufficient to ensure that their pilots aren't making any kind of mistakes so they can be as ready as they possibly can be, even when it comes to a routine training mission, Gotti.
Now, Courtney, is the Army still treating these as isolated incidents, the other crashes and the one we just saw, or is there something else, something bigger at play here?
They're not really sure. In short, you know, as you mentioned, there's some Army investigators are coming from Alabama. They're on their way to Alaska right now to try to figure out what happened here. But, you know, as I said, there's 2 different platforms here. So we have the Blackhawks and the Apaches. There was different weather at the time. In the case of the 9 soldiers who were killed near Fort Campbell last month, it was a nighttime mission. Yesterday in Alaska was a daytime mission. So there are a lot of factors that were completely different in these 3 crashes. But again, the fact that they were all Army aviation assets and they were Army pilots. That's why the Army is looking to make sure and taking the action, this pretty major move of a complete stand down of all their aviation assets, temporarily anyway. They're making that move to ensure that there's not some problem here that they need to dig out.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.